What's going to be the essence of the Fed chair's speech later?
I think it will be a chance for her to kind of reinforce market expectations for the December rate hike. And she might provide some groundwork, lay some groundwork for us to understand what to expect going beyond December, next year and the following year. So we need to start focusing more on the pace of monetary normalization beyond the December meeting, which seems to be very well priced in right now.
And that's where it gets more interesting, isn't it, Yelena? Because, as you say, December is looking more and more likely. It's next year we might start to see, real divisions within the Fed.
I'm not sure about the divisions. I still think that the consensus, the core of the committee, is still there, and they very much behind Chair Yellen. So I think we will see less of a division in the committee next year. I think everything will depend on how the economy will evolve going forward and how much of a price pressures we're going to see next year. So labor market is going to be key in that respect.
Speaking of which, we got a raft of that data today, including retail sales, which was okay. It came in on consensus last month, revised a little bit better, but was still down. And we got PPI and Michigan sentiment as well. What did it tell us about the economy?
So let's start with retail sales. It was okay. I agree as you characterized it. It was a big rebound in the headline number, but less of a rebound in so-called control group, which strips out more volatile categories such as autos and gasoline. It was probably a little bit too little and too late to arrest some moderation in consumer spending going into the third quarter of the year. We saw stellar performance in consumer spending in the second quarter. We might see some moderation going into the third quarter. But that nonetheless doesn't mean that we are just going to see some moderation in GDP growth. We should see moderate steady acceleration in GDP.
Well, if we do see this plodding along kind of performance that doesn't particularly disappoint, but definitely doesn't excite, can the economy withstand a hike in December?
I think absolutely yes. It's just a 25 basis points hike, which seems to be priced into the markets. Everybody's expecting that. Well, that said, barring a big disappointment or some kind of an event that could prevent them from going, but that should be all right. Absolutely.
Yelena, the ECB, of course, gathers on next week as well. Thursday's a big day. 5 letters will dominate proceedings when it comes to the press conference. TAPER, taper. Yeah. What's Draghi going to say about the ECB's intentions when it comes to tapering?
I think he will definitely be grilled on that tapering rhetoric and, the press reports that we saw recently. But I don't think this will be a very eventful meeting next week. And such as the November Fed meeting will be uneventful as well. I think that they will need to wait until December to act, and our European economists think that they will extend the QE program in December. That's when they publish the new forecasts, and it will be easier for them to justify the extension of the QE program.